trainers have gotten their first taste of the Kalos region with Pokemon such as Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie, who were introduced at the end of 2020. With their introduction, many are eager to see the trio of legendary Pokemon from the Kalos region make their debut in Pokemon Go. While we have no idea when we'll see these Pokemon in raids, why not look at how viable they'll be when they finally arrive? I'm Chris, and today I'll be looking at Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde to give you an idea of how they will perform in the game. Without further ado, this is TogeTips. Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde are all highly anticipated Pokemon for Pokemon Go, and despite them not being released yet, we have a fair amount of information on them from data miners reviewing the game's code. So I thought it would be interesting to examine these three legendaries and see how they'll fare in both raids and PvP. Let's get into it. We'll start things off with the life Pokemon, Xerneas. Xerneas is the first legendary Pokemon to ever have the Fairy type, which was added in the 6th generation. While this Pokemon is extremely powerful in the main series games, Xerneas will unfortunately be a pretty bad Pokemon if no adjustments or additions are made to it before its release. The first Fairy legendary Pokemon has some pretty standout stats, but sadly it's a member of the Moveset Losers Club, where a lot of its moves from the main series games don't yet exist in Pokemon Go. This is especially noticeable with its fast moves. The only moves it has in the main series that appear as fast moves in Pokemon Go are Cut, Tackle, Takedown, and Zen Headbutt. Not only are all of these moves severely lacking in good stats, but none of them are the Fairy type, so none of them will get the same type attack bonus with Xerneas. The two that Xerneas currently gets in the code are Tackle and Zen Headbutt, which are pretty bad. For charge moves though, it gets Moonblast, Mega Horn, Close Combat, Giga Impact, and Thunder, and those are actually pretty decent. Moves like Moonblast and Close Combat could make for an excellent Master League Pokemon if it had sufficient fast moves to go along with it. Not all hope is lost, however. New moves are occasionally added to the game, and movesets for Pokemon have been updated before their release before. We could see Xerneas gain a brand new fast move, making it a formidable Pokemon. What moves could it learn to make it better though? Given that most of the Pokemon's charge moves require a lot of energy to charge, we could see a clone of the move Lock-On in the form of the move Laser Focus, which Xerneas can learn in Generation 8. This would allow Xerneas to really lean into its great charge moves in the Master League, acting as almost a Fairy-type Reggie. We could also see the move Terrain Pulse be added to the game as a fast move. In the main series games, this move has a type based on the terrain that is affected during battle. Grassy terrain makes it grass, electric terrain makes it electric, psychic terrain makes it psychic, and misty terrain makes it fairy. This move could be somewhat of a fast move equivalent to Weather Ball in Pokemon Go, being a single move that has a different type depending on what Pokemon has the move. For example, Abomasnow's Weather Ball is Ice and Cherrim's is Fire. With this, we could see a Fairy-type Terrain Pulse on Xerneas, giving it a Fairy-type fast move to make it more effective. This would also allow it to become an excellent Fairy-type attacker in raids. Next up, we have the Dark and Flying legendary of Kalos, Yveltal. Yveltal is much better than its counterpart, Xerneas. It shares the exact same stats as Xerneas, giving it great potential. For fast moves, it learns Sucker Punch, Snarl, and Gust. Out of these three fast moves, Snarl is the best choice for PvP as it generates energy really quickly. For charge moves, it currently has Dark Pulse, Hurricane, Focus Blast, Hyper Beam, and Psychic in the code of the game. If you pair Dark Pulse and Hurricane with Snarl, Yveltal will be a devastating force to be reckoned with in the Master League. Not many Pokemon resist both Dark and Flying, so you wouldn't run into too many areas where Yveltal struggles. Additionally, you could swap out Hurricane for Focus Blast to give Yveltal a better chance against Melmetal and Dialga. Looking at its raid performance, Yveltal does fall a bit short. While far from a bad pick for a Dark-type attacker, Darkrai, the unreleased Zoroark, Weavile, and even Honchkrow all generally outdo this Pokemon in Dark damage output. And this is also without considering Shadow Pokemon or Mega Pokemon. Yveltal also follows the same trend as a flying attacker, falling short of Moltres, Honchkrow, Staraptor, Rayquaza, Unfezant, and Braviary. However, it is worth noting that Yveltal receives the flying-type signature move Oblivion Wing in the main series games. If Yveltal receives this move in Pokemon Go in the future, it will likely become a far better flying attacker, while also becoming even more relevant in Master League. The final Kalos legendary is Zygarde, the Order Pokemon, who has a typing of Dragon and Ground. Zygarde is a very special Pokemon because in the main series games, it has 3 different forms: a 10% form, a 50% form, which is also its standard form, and its complete form. Currently, Zygarde's stats do not yet exist in the game, nor do movesets for either its 10% or complete forms. At the moment, all we know is that the 50% form exists in the code with the moves Dragon Tail, Bite, and Zen Headbutt as fast moves, and Outrage, Earthquake, Crunch, Hyper Beam, and Bulldoze as charge moves. Niantic does have a specific way of translating stats from the main series to Go, and if these were applied to Zygarde's standard 50% form, it's fairly lackluster. Zygarde's moveset seems to be built much more for raiding, specifically with Dragon Tail and Outrage. However, Zygarde's attack in all 3 of its forms is far below the top dragon attackers like Rayquaza and Salamence, leaving the Kalos legendary in the dust. With this, Zygarde unfortunately also loses in the PvP sense due to a lack of good PvP moves. Without Dragon Breath as a fast move, Zygarde takes a serious blow as a Master League contender. There is still hope that it will receive this move prior to release, or that either of its forms receive this move. We will very likely be seeing the Kalos legendary trio sometime this year, and despite their shortcomings, all 3 are full of potential. At the moment, Yveltal is the only one who truly lives up to its potential. However, the other 2 can easily still be saved. Hopefully, we'll see all 3 of these Pokemon make a splash upon their release. So what are your thoughts on the Kalos legendaries? While I'm a bit disappointed about Xerneas and Zygarde, I'm still hopeful that they'll receive changes prior to their release to make them even better. Regardless, Yveltal will surely be an exciting addition to the game, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe and hit the bell notification if you want to stay up to date with more Pokemon content, and much thanks if you do. Until next time everyone, I'm Chris, and this has been TogeTips. Take it easy.